Hey guys, it's Tucker here. In today's video, we'll be reviewing the Lian O11 Dynamic Mini V2. That is right, this is a $100 PC case or a $89 PC case because there's two versions you can get of this PC case. One you can buy for $100 that comes with 5 120mm fans that are non-RGB. So important fact to keep in mind if you do an RGB build. And there's another version of this PC case that you can get on Amazon that has no case fans whatsoever for $89. So the real question is, how good is this actual PC case? Because the one we got here today is the no fan version because we'll be doing a PC build here for a customer for a nice white theme PC build for 1440p gaming for $2,000. So if you don't want to miss out on that build, definitely get subscribed because we're going to be using this case and I'm looking forward to it. But let's get into the unboxing. So I'm just going to open this on up and get access to this PC case to see how good it actually is. So it's got the basic packaging, nothing too fancy to it. Pop this from the top. So the first thing we get right out of the box is an accessory box for all the stuff that comes with it. So we get this accessory box that comes with a manual. Comes with a little thing for all your screws and accessories for your actual PC case, which is nice. Then a little bracket thing. It looks like this is supposed to be some form of way of mounting your GPU for a sag bracket. I'm not too sure though. I could be correcting myself in post when I say that. And then an additional accessory for the PC case. Looks like this is like for a side mount or vertical mount for your GPU. So accessories in themselves are pretty cool that come with this case for $100. You get like pretty much everything you really need without having to buy it. So if you really want to, you could vertical mount your GPU in this case, which is sick. Okay, there's that. Luckily, the protective foam around this case is pretty nice. They did a good job of packaging it. Okay, so here's the PC case right out of the box. Looks pretty good, I will quickly say. I really like how the glass looks on this. So on the back side here, we got access to a few different scrolls for accessing different things. So the first thing I want to check out is dismantling this thing to open the front panels here. So there's a thumb screw on the back here for actually the front glass. So we're gonna unscrew this like so. Actually, you can't just do it just yet. There's actually like some weird foam thing with the pull from the front, which is interesting. I guess it's some form of protective adhesive. And we have to undo the peel too. Don't really want to have to do that, but looks like you have to do that. Seems like the first panel comes off by pulling it from the front here. So you pop this on up and then you just lift it, and that's how you take the front panel off. And then for the other side, you gotta do the thumb screw like we did earlier, and then we can just push it on out. And we can just lift it up like so. So you have to take out the front panel before accessing the side panel. So now that we got a closer look inside the PC case, we got the following. We got a little actually static area for actually their fans. So you can put your fans here, but you know, so them, it looks like you gotta do it from the under part. So there is like already a GPU sag bracket installed. So they give you an additional one to swap out with. So you can adjust this so you don't have any sag for your GPU, which is pretty nice. I've never seen that before in PC cases. The first time I've seen it. So that's awesome, especially for like $89. Usually cheaper cases only come with like a fan hub or a other things like RGB fans. So I haven't seen a case yet for a budget that have this under $100. I'm be really curious to see if this PC case does have a fan hub that comes with it though, because I feel like if it has a fan hub, it'll be insane. It's pretty nice though already. But you can actually see right here, you can install up to 3 120mm fans on the bottom. And then actually for the side here, you can install up to 3 120s on the side. And then same thing for the top, you can install like a 360 IO on the top as well. So there's a lot of fans in here. You can be fed up to like, I think it's like 7 or 8 fans. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 fans in this, which is kind of nutty. Bit excessive though, but it seems like they're all gonna be 120mm no matter what. And it looks like the actual brackets on the back here are not one-time removable where you just wiggle them on out and pop them. You can actually use a screwdriver, Phillips, and remove them without having to like permanently lose them, which is nice. So if we want to access the top, we gotta take these thumb screws and unloosen them, and this will let us have access to the top panel here. And we can just lift this up on so, and with that, you get that uninstalled pretty easy. And this is where we can install like a 360 IO if we wanted to do that, because we can't actually do that with this PC case, which is sick. It seems like this part comes undone as well. I'm not too sure what this is exactly for though. So in order to access the back, you have to lift this up first, then set that to the side somewhere. Then you can open this up like so. I might have to do this with more than just one hand because I'm getting my butt kicked. There we go. So I use my thumb and I can lift it up, put it to the side. And with the back, you can get access to the PC case. So there's actually a little thing here for actually your cable management, just kind of just hide everything behind. But you can install up to 2 3.5-inch hard drives here, which is awesome. And they seem to be one of those things where like you have to unscrew this first to get access to it, which is interesting. I've never seen this before. So you just unscrew these, don't lose them, of course. And with that, we should be able to pull this on out. So it looks like you gotta take out these screws here, or maybe it's one of those things where you just lift and pull out. Okay, so you can't lift and pull it on out to get access to your drive bay. And then you would just install your hard drive in here. So for example, here you have your 6 screws, you line it up with the bottom. And so you just do this, plop into place, drop this on down. And then what's happened here is that I lift this, scooch it on in, and then from here, I can then just screw it on down and have my hard drive nicely installed, which is interesting. I also just realized I had the hard drive installed the wrong way when I did that to show you guys, but here it is. So you line up the screw holes with the actual 6 screws in the back. And then when you're done with screwing it on in, take your hard drive, line it on up with the actual mount areas within the back here. So you can line this on like so, and it should just pop into place and then fall in. And then you would just plug in your hard drive however you want to, which is interesting. This is kind of cool. I kind of like this. And so you can do 2 of them, or you can do 2 2.5-inch SSDs as well. So if you want to access the cables back here for your motherboard, you're going to need to undo this. So what we're going to do is take this, loosen it on up with our Phillips screwdriver. And once that's done, we don't want to lose the screw. We should be able to pull this on out carefully and set this to a side. Oop. Dropping everything, fun. Now that we got access to that there, a little bit chaotic, we can get our cables. So for the cables, we got the following. We got a USB 3 cable, which is in white. We got our HD audio cable, Type-C connection for our USB-C port, front panel connection, so everything for reset, power, hard drive LED in one place, which is really nice. I love it when it is in these kind of cases. Sometimes they have the individual connectors, which just stinks to install. So this is awesome. And that is everything for actually connections, because the front ports for the I/O, we got the following. We got our power button right here, Type-C connection, this is 3.2. U2 USB-A connections, and these are USB 3, and a 3.5 audio jack. Now, an interesting to know about this case, you can actually move your connections from your actual bottom of your case to the top part right here. That's why they have this opening, which is interesting. The dismantling the case is pretty easy. I'm curious to see how the bottom is though. So overall, the connections are pretty nice for the I/O. Unfortunately, there is no fan hub. So I was expecting this case to maybe have like a fan hub to come with it, which would be the perfect thing about this case. We had everything, GPU SAC rack, good cable connections, nice hard drive installation, and then freak fan hub, but no. Unfortunately, they're not as cool as Monotech with that. That would have been actually what made this case make or break for like being perfect combat case. I'd say this is still amazing though. Now taking closer to the bottom side here, we actually do got a little nice grommet. So with this grommet, you can actually access the back here, and you can also go to the front for your front of your case for your GPU and stuff. Now looking at the back side of the case one more time, is that if you actually want to remove this dust filter, you got to pull from here. When you pull it on out, just pop out, and that's how you clean it on out. So you can just pull it there, and when you want to need to put it back in, you slip it back in. So not the craziest dust filter in the world, but it's pretty nice. You will need to remove your dust filter though before you start installing your fan. Now if you do actually want to switch out the GPU SAC rack in here, you got to take out these 2 screws first. So we're just going to unscrew both of these screws real quick here. And by removing these 2 screws, we can actually change out the GPU SAC rack with the other one if we want a bigger one, because the other one's slightly bigger. So depending on like the GPU height, you can do so. It seems to be a bit magnetic as well, but nothing crazy. Now, if you do want to vertical mount your GPU, you can do so with this piece. So what we're going to need to do is actually remove these 3 screws in the back. So I'm just going to undo these real quick. And just make sure not to lose them, because if you lose them, it'll just be a pain later. If you do hear fireworks go off in the background, it's because it's the 4th of July tomorrow, and my neighbors like to blow them up before then. So happy early 4th of July if this video makes it out before then, because tomorrow's it. It probably will though. What's your guys' favorite part about 4th of July? It's my question for you guys. Let me know in the comments. Is it the free food? Is it the fireworks? Is it hanging out with friends? Curious to see what you guys say. Personally, for me, I think the best part about the 4th of July is like celebrating with family and friends, and getting that free food is a, it's a byproduct. So with this, we should be able to just push this on forward, and then when we push it forward, we should pop it on out. I just realized there's another screw. I was like wondering why this is not coming down now, and it's because there's one more screw right here. So there's 4 screws we gotta remove. So with that, we should be able to pop this on out. It looks like we're gonna push this forward first. Yep, just falls apart. Cool. Horizontal, we can vertical mount it. So we just take the same screws from earlier, put it on our new piece, and then that way we can now vertical mount this. And if you don't mind me, I'm gonna quickly message the customer to see if he wants it vertical mounted or not. Okay, so I checked the customer. He does not want it vertical mounted. I had to verify that real quick because I'm not too sure. I would also need a riser cable to do it in the first place, and I don't think about it. So yeah, that's not happening. So then if you were actually install this, you just need to re-put the 4 screws back into point, and then that way you can vertical mount your GPU. So since we're not doing that for the time being, we are going to do the following. We're going to move this and reinstall the piece from earlier. So the interesting to note though, if you remove this piece is a pain to reinstall. So if you don't plan to vertical mount your GPU, don't even like mess with the back here, because this thing is like, you gotta weirdly place it in there. Okay, so I'm not sure, but I think each one of these screws are assigned a certain spot because they didn't go back in the spots properly, even if I put them in a different spot. So they might be pre-assigned, so just make sure not to disorganize them, because they do not thread if unless in the right spot. Now, if you wanna actually install your GPU, all you have to do is go over here, take your actual bracket. So I'm gonna install GPU in the 2 and 3 slot. You just loosen this on up the front, and then once you're ready to get it, it should just come on done like so. Get the screw, set it aside so you don't lose it. Then you just pull forward, pull it to yourself, and then it pops out. So that's how you install the brackets. You want to reinstall them, you just push it in forward. So you're just gonna take the line it on out with the spot, and then slip it in like so. You just take a screw and re-screw it back in. So overall, opening up this case isn't that difficult, pretty easy. So now if we want to reassemble it, what we're gonna need to do is start with the back side first. We're gonna take that super small screw from earlier and take it back with the actual bracket here. So you can see there's some nubs here. And we're gonna take these nubs, line it up with actually the bottom here, and then slip this in like so. And then push this on up, and then take that small screw from earlier with our screwdriver and righty-tighty it so it goes back into place. Then now that we got that, we can close the back panel, and all we do is take our little feet on the bottom here. We're gonna line it up like so with the bottom feet here, and then we're just gonna slip it on in. Then once it's slipped on in, you can just push it because the nubs will pop back into place. And with that, we're good. Then for the top piece, same thing. We're gonna put it lining on up, make sure the actual rear one lines with the thing, and we can just tighten this on down to close the back. Now for the top, all we're gonna do is take our top piece, line it on out with the back, lie at an angle on the top here. It should just slide back in. I'm gonna slide this back in, then we're gonna tighten on down like so. And with that, our top piece is back installed once we tighten the nubs. Now all we do is our side panel. So we can just take our panel one, line it up with actually the feet on the bottom here. So it's gonna be 2 feet. You're gonna pop it into place. Once it's popped into place, we're gonna carefully slip it on in. If I actually line this up right. Once it's slipped into place, you should be able to pop it in from the top, and then just tighten the back. And with the thumb screw tightened, we're all good. And now we just need to put that front panel back on. So just take our front panel, line up the feet with the bottom, and then pop into place. And that has how we close up the PC case after disassembling it. And I gotta make sure to put these 2 thumb screws back in for the hard drive, but I gotta install the hard drive now. So what are my final thoughts now on the Lian O11 Dynamic Mini V2? So this PC case is pretty nice for what you get for $89 if you do buy the version like we have here that has no fans whatsoever. You get the following, you get 2 hard drive cages, you get a nice GPU sag bracket that you can actually swap out with a slightly bigger one, and on top of it, you get some decent connectivity for the actual ports. Nothing too crazy. The big thing though is that 2 USB-A's and that 1 USB Type-C port, because some $100 cases don't even come with a Type-C connection. So there is that. Plus the amount of fans you can install too is kind of ridiculous for what you want to do, especially with like a 360 IO on top, because I think the play is you install 3 120s in the bottom for bringing the air in, then on top 360 IO for exhausting the hot air. And I think that's gonna be the strat of this PC case for most people build around it, and it'll look really clean afterward, especially how compact this thing, because like this thing is like very small in all retrospect. But would I recommend it? So if you do plan to buy this PC case for yourself, I would honestly just recommend buying the $100 version that comes with 5 120mm fans. Even though they aren't RGB, it's legitimately $11 more for a really nice PC case plus 5 120mm fans. And then if you don't want to actually use the fans, you could get the cheaper version of it for $89, but I don't see the point of doing that unless you have your own fans that come with it like we're doing for this PC case. But I think this PC case is still pretty cool at the end of the day. I just think the cheaper version is kind of niche. Unless you plan to install your own fans, I would just recommend buying the $100 one and you get your money for that, because what you get for $100 is actually like really good. The only thing it's missing though is legitimately that fan hub. If it came with a fan hub, it'd be the perfect $100 PC case for a white theme build or just for a compact theme build. But if you guys enjoyed my review here today though, then make sure to smash the like button, get subscribed so I miss future tech content. We're trying to hit 30,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so when you do me that favor, that'd be very much appreciated. And I'll see you guys for now on. Tech Grant out.